Madison and Hunter here. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys should become patrons over on Patreon to support the channel. But you guys can subscribe, and we're over 10,000 subscribers now. High five, Hunter.
Actually, you have a disease.
Oh yeah. So I'm sick, by the way. I have a bacterial, skin.
You look like if this was in the Middle Ages, you'd be lancing your boils. And you would
the
be
ones on my arms
off
aren't that bad, but those are just an example.
Camp.
But these are everywhere. They're everywhere on my body. So I went to the doctor and they prescribed something, but it also gives you the cough and fever and all of that yucky stuff that comes with being sick. So getting that out of the way.
You're miserable, but you know who's not miserable? Jamie in that photograph. I think that's his name, right? Jamie?
Who?
The boy.
Adrian?
Adrian. Fucking hell, never mind. I think Jamie's the person that voices him. Or maybe Tara.
So we open this episode with Cordova just talking. She's literally just talking. And Weiss is trying her best to pretend to agree with her, right? Because she's like, oh, we were all devastated when you went to Beacon. And it's kind of funny because Pyrrha's mom says the same thing. The people here were devastated when Pyrrha went to Beacon, right? And so it's one of those things where it's I don't know, nice little connection. But
immediately we were like, okay, somebody's in that box. Yeah. I guessed Ruby because she's small.
I guessed Ruby and Oscar because they're both small, but then I forgot about Maria. I just forgot about her. I don't know why.
I don't know why we know why later for the plan, why.
How did they let her in? I guess just to say goodbye.
Yeah, maybe. I just love him so much.
I guess Sappho didn't do anything, right? Everybody else.
Sappho's different.
Sorry.
That's what we like to call a Freudian slip in the business.
She didn't piss anybody off, right? So I doubt Ruby and Crow and all them would be let in to say goodbye, but her or Tara are neutral civilians, right? So they're probably not banned access or whatever. So they were like, oh, we were devastated when you chose Beacon over that, and Weiss is like, well, I finally come to my senses. It's time to go back to my roots. And all that. I'm gonna go study at whatever. And Caroline was like, oh, and going into the military like your sister, following in your sister's footsteps. And Weiss is like,
yeah, she could tell she's not having a great time the whole time.
Yeah, and you can tell here that Caroline is getting suspicious when Weiss is like, oh, I'll lift the bag by myself. I don't know why they're worried about the two guys lifting it though. Maybe it'll accidentally fall open and hurt Maria, I guess, but.
Or she'll say
it's
something.
I feel like Weiss needs to learn that if you act like everything's fine, people will believe you. You know what I mean? If she was like, yes, servants, go take my bag. I'm a schnee. If she acted like that, that would make sense. Are you
giving fictional character
I'm just giving her some advice, okay?
She's not a real person.
I know.
She can't. Dora,
if any of you guys...
Hear you? Also, if you do not try to sneak someone
don't do that, but if you did, just act like everything is normal.
They will die, or you will
get in a lot of trouble. But this is a different kind of plane. They're not putting her in the cargo hold. This would be like if you were putting somebody in your carry-on case.
Alright, that's fair. That's a big carry-on. But
so she's suspicious because of Weiss's behavior, and then Adrian
has a
does
sonic
boom sound
which
wave.
I'm like, oh, he already has a semblance. Come on, John, what's the matter? He already has a semblance, I'm guessing.
I don't think that's a semblance, Hunter. I think it was for dramatic
effect. I don't know, man. It was a sonic boom.
I'm pretty sure he's just crying. I think that was for comedic effect.
Maybe this is why Tara's so concerned about what the neighbors think. The fucking baby is
my god.
Just a giant ant. Oh, and he's...
So Saffron is like, oh, well, she probably misses Weiss. And so then these two dumb fucks... go to
we will I love them. I hate them, but I love them.
I love them. They're so funny.
They're just like, we will make the baby feel better, and they're doing
and Caroline's just like, what the fuck? These are her two best soldiers. What
really?
The fuck is happening in she says that, right?
Yeah,
so
and
what
then
is happening?
Off making faces. I don't know.
What is happening in where are we? Argus.
Yes.
That these are the two best people she could find.
I don't know. Maybe
or from Atlas? What?
Maybe they're the most grandiose.
Who is graduating
most dedicated
from the military schools these days?
And maybe she just likes the grandiose.
I also said, I don't think I took a screenshot of it, but there was a girl that it focused on, and I'm like, that's Neo. It's Neo in disguise.
Yes, it was. Yes, you see her, and she has orange eyes, and she kind of has a Neo face, and she's in Atlas uniform.
I'm sure.
And
I'm
it's
sure
totally
it's not Neo.
It must
but
listen,
what if
right?
It was?
Listen, right? I was wrong once before about Neo. She didn't end up poisoning
the casserole.
But I can be right about Neo the second time. But yeah, and there was a great line there when Maria was like, I'm not heavy.
This is all muscle, like all of that stuff.
I love Maria so much. I want her to live a full life.
I mean, she has. She's like,
yeah, that's true. I love that
70 years old.
She's feisty, but yeah, man, she's just great.
So everything seems to be going to plan.
And the plan is that they're gonna hijack the plane. Drive it.
What was supposed to happen, and this was actually my theory. So my theory is basically that Weiss would pretend that she wants to go home so they can get on the plane, and someone would take down the communication tower so they would get no signal and they could fly away and nobody would know. So RWBY is basically here waiting to land the plane. Like, that's what Yang was kind of supposed to do. Like, I'm guessing in that clearing they want to land the airplane and then they would all get on it. So Blake's job was to take down the communication tower, right? Which kind of all makes sense. And so Blake was supposed to do that, and she said that she's talking, so Tara's explaining, if you take out a certain part of the communication tower, it won't affect the town, just the military. So then there wouldn't be mass hysteria over what's wrong. And Blake is just like, I love her face right here, because it's like, I've dealt with that, I've taken down their security before, and Tara's face is just like...
very, very soured, like
this conversation never happened. I mean, couldn't you look in their phone records, though, and see that she's talking to her? Like, is it that serious?
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like eventually they'd be able to trace it back, like they'd figure out who Jean was and then be able to trace it back.
I mean, by that time, they already stole the plane. Like, what does it fucking matter? You know
I feel like it would still get investigated and they'd still be in a lot of trouble.
Maybe. Well, they're risking it. And Blake had to fucking drop the ball. I'm just joking. It's not her fault that Adam fucking popped out.
But
if Adam wasn't there, this plane would have gone without a hitch.
But the plan was they were going to turn off that so that they wouldn't see the plane circle back and collect everybody.
And go on the ground and all that. So that was a good plan. That was the plan that I suggested. So of course it was a great plan.
No casserole involved.
Yeah, no casserole included. So Blake says something like, Yang, like, you're not exactly stealthy. And she has this face because Yang is just like, what? What bitch? But it's nice, playful banter between them. And you see that she's acting normal, and Blake says, "You're great. It's fine. I'll be right back."
I feel like people are. I don't know, because recently I was showing my girlfriend the first volume.
Bumblebee stuff. That's I've always been sort of hesitant to sort of be like, I think it's definitely gonna happen. But now that I'm seeing them, I'm like, you know what I mean? Sun's gone. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Erin is doing some sort of talk today because she's really excited about the next couple RWBY episodes, and we know when Erin gets excited, it's usually because something is gay. Like, remember how she said, like, at the panel? Because Barbara was like, yeah, there will be gay characters this season, a lot of them, right? And that was obviously could have referenced Sappho and, Saffron and, Tara. But the fact that Erin was, like, laughing like a madwoman and Erin said that Yang is in love with Blake, it's sort of like, you know what I mean? But that's, like, a whole other
But yeah, they had a flirty moment here and then she kind of runs off. It was a nice moment, yeah. I feel like I had something I was saying earlier, but I got cut off and now I forgot exactly anything.
You were saying that you showed this to your girlfriend.
Right,
your girlfriend was like, they're gay.
No, she wasn't like that, but I like seeing this and then...
Going back?
Going back and then going forward, I'm like, wow, everyone's way more, like, emotive than they are, way more emotive now than they were, because now Blake's like, yeah, well, back then, really, it felt sometimes like, yes,
everyone was
Blake,
just so stiff.
Yes, Yang.
I thought you were going to say...
You are not very stealthy. I
thought that you were going to say that your girlfriend was like, these two are gay, right?
I'll come later.
Anyway. Look at Yang's face here as she's looking at Blake walk away. Like, I would like to do a Bumblebee video before it happens. Just, because we've done one before, but I'd like to do...
We've done several before.
We've done several. I'd just like to do one more. So when it happens, everybody can suck it. I mean, I'm not necessarily, like, a rabid shipper about it, but the thing is, it's sort of like, I hate when people... If Yang was a guy, people would say that all of these moments are flirty, or people would say that they're romantic. But because Yang is a girl, I think people say that they don't see anything, and people don't necessarily recognize that internal bias, if that makes sense. But that's another video for another day. So
I feel
Crow
like
was fucking mad.
I'm
by
not
the way.
as rabid a Bumblebee shipper as maybe I was when I first started, like, you know, RWBY fanfiction and whatnot. But yeah, he's just a curmudgeon the whole time.
Crow is not like happy right now, and like Oscar is pretty like optimistic. He's like, it's fine, and I love this scene because Weiss just fucking murders these people. They're not dead; they're alive. But she just off screen and throws them out the window with a
one parachute to share.
And then her little thing goes and he falls off. So I guess she didn't think that through exactly. But I just love Weiss and Maria's interaction here. How they're both like...
like Maria's so confident, like, Weiss is like so sick of this shit. I know.
It. And I love how she puts the little chip from the airplane in her goggles, and then that transmits some sensory data or something.
And her eyes widen quite a bit.
Also, the guys call her traitor and treacherous as they're being beat up, so that's kind of funny.
Well, I mean, this is very illegal, what they're doing. And part of me feels like...
And I wouldn't suggest anybody to do it.
Like Tara and Saffron are gonna be thrown in prison because of like association with
I'm sure Ironwood could get them off though.
Maybe, I don't fucking know, who knows.
Because Ironwood's a higher up. If he says that somebody doesn't need to be in jail anymore, he can pull some strings, right? But yeah, so I just love how Maria connects with everybody, like on some sort of level. Like, you know what I mean? Like with her and Weiss, they go, like they're almost finishing each other's sentences. It's really funny. But Ruby's worried because Blake is not responding, and Crow is just like, fuck, this is my fault. And I'm like,
I'm bad luck all the time.
Yang is just sitting there like, like, Blake made me stay over here, so I'm gonna sit here with my legs crossed applesauce and just wait for her to get back. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So in this scene, this guy's like, hey, somebody's coming into our airspace. And she's like, who would be foolish enough to come into our airspace? And the guy's like, we're foolish enough to come into our airspace. The writing for this, it's just gotten so much better. Like, they've gotten so much funnier, and I just love Miles and Carrie. It's nice to see.
With this, it's just like, it's like, no, okay, I know a lot of Atlas. I have all the jargon.
I just love everything she says.
Niner going down with the GIF, and then eventually the people are just like, yeah, no, you're not us. I'm like, how?
And Weiss is just like, I thought you knew the jargon, and the person's like, the jargon's fine, but we don't have any elderly woman pilot.
And I just love that Maria isn't turning off
the button's still on, and so you can hear everything. But you're so right, Hunter. Like, everybody's so much more emotive. Like, look at Weiss for a second, and then Weiss like that. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's moving. And it's definitely because of the mocap. I feel like the mocap has really helped with that, because it lets you have sort of natural
movements
I feel like you would have as a person.
I feel like beyond that, it just feels even more cartoony and expressive.
But I mean, like, I think the mocap helps too, right? Because a lot of video games use it to have natural walking scenes. Like, that's why I think, like, with The Last of Us, like, Ellie moves very realistically, like, for a kid, right? Or, you know, I think that if, like, for example, if there was mocap on you, Hunter, and you were going to be in a game, your leg would be shaking. That may not be something an animator thinks about, right? Or, like, I also shake, I shake my foot. Like, you guys can't see it, but I shake my foot, just not the rest of me. So, like, those are things that maybe the camera or the animators wouldn't necessarily think to put in, but can be done through the mocapping. And so, I think that's really sort of helped. But yeah.
And eventually she's like, Calavera, god damn it.
She's just like, turn this plane around! And then she's like, do you hear that? Do you hear that, Cordovan? And then she has this gross scene where she's eating the cashews.
I love the
I just love it.
I love that they brought the cashews back on board. And I feel like there's a scene when, like, if the camera pans over, you just see, like, Weiss looking so sick of this shit.
I know, and I love it, too, that Weiss is like, what is going on? And Maria is not helping. Like, you know what I mean? And Crow's like, it's all my fault. Every bad choice I made has led us here. And I'm just like, Crow, like, this isn't a Telltale game, okay? It's not like, Ozpin will remember that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just all of your choices that are leading to some sort of pre-planned ending. You know what I mean? And I think RWBY makes him feel better.
RWBY grabs him by the lapel, and what did she say specifically?
RWBY
she was just like, trust us.
Well,
we know
first
what
of all,
the fuck
now we kind of see why he's drinking, right? Because he thinks everything he's ever done has
been for naught. Yeah,
not even been for nothing, but that has created the state that the world is in now, which isn't really true. Yeah. But he said that anyway.
He has some kind of
he thinks he's at fault for everything.
He's catastrophizing quite a bit right now.
And RWBY basically says that we can all only do our best, and that's all we've ever wanted, and we know that you've done your best the whole time. You know what I mean?
I'm good because I had good role models like you, Dad.
Yeah. This scene is sort of weird. Doesn't this look a bit, I don't know, flat? I mean, it's a side angle, but I was watching this and I was just like, this is a little strange.
That the ground is flat?
No. Like, look at Ren and, like, Oscar and Nora. They just seem like, you know what I mean?
Like they're cardboard cutouts?
Yeah.
I don't know, not really.
At least to me, anyway.
Maybe it's the distance?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I like what RWBY says to him, and Crow's just like, when did you grow up so fast? Like, all of that sort of stuff,
I had good role models like you.
And so I think RWBY's right. We can all only do our best. That's all anybody's ever asked for. That's all anybody's ever wanted, right? And so that's good. You know? Meanwhile, Genlock. This is totally a ploy to get people into not a ploy. That makes it sound shady.
A ploy. There's been mechs in this show before.
No.
Yes, there has.
Oh, I guess in Volume 2.
Yeah.
But they're definitely bringing this back for Genlock purposes, I think. I would say. I'm not saying it's like a marketing thing, but it's almost like, hey, do you guys want to see more cool mecha battles? You guys should watch Genlock, because that's what's going to be next episode too. It's going to be Blake and Adam and Yang, and then it's going to be Caroline versus the crew. Right? And so what I'm saying is, like...
And her long...
Miles is probably going to go on Twitter and be like, hey, did you guys enjoy the fight with, like, Corjoven? You know what you guys should do? Watch Genlock.
It'd be funny if that design for that mech showed up in Genlock.
Like as an Easter egg?
As an Easter egg, or even like on really Legos on someone's desk. That would be funny, but...
But yeah. So, RWBY's just like, hey, Weiss, we're gonna need you on the ground.
Because there's a giant fucking... I love how the robot has, like, a little bayonet with its cannon arm.
Who designed this, though? I mean, like, in terms of, did she do it? I don't mean in terms of, like, it's ugly. Why would the animators do this? I mean, like, for Caroline, like, did she do it? Like,
why was it there? What was she waiting for it to
just in case of catastrophe were to strike!
I don't fucking know.
Hunter? Like,
it looks like the whole base became that thing, so I'm like, what?
It was in there. It's like a secret layer in a volcano. You gotta have one, just in case.
Just in case.
And
so RWBY's like, land the plane. We're gonna need your
Meanwhile,
fight.
Adam fucking steps on...
Attacks. And by this point,
me and Hunter just screamed.
No, you were screaming. I was relatively calm because I was still upset that the casserole never happened, but you were like punching me again.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is that we knew Adam was coming because we saw it in the RWBY behind the scenes. But still to see him was a shock because we were sort of waiting for him this entire episode because Blake wasn't responding. Why else wouldn't she be responding, right? And so to sort of see him step on the phone and that's his first action, that made me lose my shit. I'm just gonna appreciate some scenes here. I really like the fighting, and I like...
The fight's already better than the one that was in last season that people hated. It's kind of funny that they're jumping from level to level to level.
Isn't it nice that we have time for ourselves, Blake? Which is like, ew. But he says, I've waited so long for you to get away from them. So here's what this tells me. Adam has been following them the entire fucking time. So he was on the train, and maybe he stalked them through the forest, or maybe he just followed Juniper and waited for Blake to get back, and he was outside the house, and he followed them into the forest, and so anybody that fucking says that he wasn't there, right? All right, y'all can suck it, because it was pretty 50-50. Some people said that Blake just saw an hallucination. Some people agreed with me when I said, okay, but the hallucination that Blake sees and the hallucination that Yang sees are different. They have different clothes, and he has the hood on, which would cover his eyes because he ditched the mask. I don't know why he has the blindfold on.
Is it a blindfold?
It's literally a blindfold.
Because it kind of, I thought it was initially like wrap around, like, sunglasses, but you see in the back
You know what this reminds me of?
So yeah.
It reminds me of Riku when he has the blindfold on in Kingdom Hearts. Okay, you shove your eye roll, Hunter. But yeah. So Adam has been here the whole time. I made that theory, and I'm so proud of that theory because I stuck my ground and I was right. Anyway, I'm not that like... What am I trying to say? I'm not that forceful.
You're not as
I'm just
hurrah
exaggerating a little bit. You know what I mean?
Because a lot of people saw this more or less coming. You weren't the only one.
I know. It wasn't like the genie where like nobody said that. But I'm just saying that this is a win for us. And like somebody in the Murder of Birds Discord server, I'm gonna give them a shout out. Will said this, and I was like, Will, you know what? Because you like say this too, I'm gonna make a theory about it. Because I was too scared to do it alone. But if we do it together, we can stop the bullies. Like that's kind of what I said to him. And now we're both really happy. I'm just joking, Hunter. I'm just joking. I hope nobody thinks that I'm actually like this. I'm just saying. So yeah, Blake is like, you stalked me across Anima, which is just sort of confirming that.
Which I'm like,
Why did you come into my life and ruin everything?
Did he stay on the part of the bus that
the train?
Yeah,
I think he stayed on the Juniper side.
Yeah. Because Juniper wouldn't be able to identify him.
No. And I feel like he was just hiding there. Juniper wouldn't have really noticed, right? But yeah, so I like how Blake uses her semblance in these scenes too.
She's jumping up to the different layers.
Yeah, and she just fucking falls because she's trying.
Her face looks a little
basically
terrified.
Basically, what she does is she tries to slide down on something to get away, and she fucking crashes. But I'm just gonna show you some stills of the fight I enjoyed.
The fight was very good.
So yeah, Adam has some. So I feel like he just ripped part of his outfit and then put it on his eyes, but I don't know why he would do that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a blindfold. That's really weird.
And he's fighting with it on, so it must be pretty thin. I was just like, people are making this joke, but I'm like, Bird Box 2018. Like,
also, like,
I wonder if they did that before they knew that it was coming out, and if it's just a coincidence, because I think it's really funny.
Also, like, maybe because it's like the faunas have good night vision, so maybe it helps.
Yeah, maybe if it's dark, he can see through it.
But that's not.
Is that how that works?
I don't think it's entirely.
I like this shot.
That's an interesting still you took there. That man has so many zippers.
I like this shot.
That man has as many zippers as he has
So see, this is her making a clone and jumping off it, right? So I like that.
To get to the higher
another
levels.
one, yeah, trying to get away. He just fucking whacks her on the head at one point. Did I catch it? Did it happen yet? I don't think I got it.
That's the sword. No, that's the wire.
No, I don't think that's happened. But he just whacks her in the head, and I thought that was really funny. I mean, not funny. It's not funny, but I like this still too. Funny. I mean,
that one looks like they're making out. Like if you don't look at the sword,
Adam and yet, like...
if you don't look at the sword, no, go back. If you don't look at the sword, that looks like a somewhat romantic moment. Kinda. Okay. Maybe not. The hand should be.
Do you think he did kiss her?
No, probably not.
Or did they just fall?
I think they just, because remember they kick up and they fall back down. So.
Wah, 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 wah.
No.
Wah. That's it. So yeah, they both fall. You can still. Oh wait, are they not on the ground yet?
No, they're not.
Oh, because I was like, you can still see their shadows, but they're on the ground. No, they're on the ground now. No. So Blake is like, can't you just like forget this? Like, move on for you, Adam.
Fuck off.
Right?
Adam.
And is that it? Oh yeah, and Adam is just like, is that what you did? Did you just throw all our memories away? Which is
real
like,
creepy.
He's definitely like abusive ex-boyfriend sort of level.
Very.
He can't let go of the relationship and all that stuff. He also says, I'm never letting you go again, which I think is sort of like a Beauty and the Beast reference. At least I remember someone saying that in a Disney movie. So yeah. I don't know what videos we're gonna do this week necessarily yet. I'm thinking about it. I like to do a Bumblebee one. I'd like to talk about Adam being relevant.
I'd like to talk about maybe Oscar and Crow and how they kind of aren't really. They're setting up but not paying off. So it's a little.
What do you mean?
Because we
can talk about that. Yeah. I know what you mean now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy.
I'm really looking forward to the next 2 episodes. Then we got a mech fight and then like a really good Blake. We've been teased this in fucking volume 4.
I'm sad that RWBY's ending, but we've hardly had a bad episode. I don't think we've had a bad episode this season.
Yeah, they've all been
at least for us. I mean, people may say that the last episode was bad. That's just sort of a matter of what people are gonna want and what people say.
Also, bad is relative.
And there were some points, and like I understand what Hunter's saying, and I think that's something that made last episode sort of like meh for me.
Because it's like an in-between episode.
With
that's why I was looking
payoff
forward
and stuff. But yeah.
To that casserole.
Anyways. But yeah, I think that this season's been the best season ever.
So far.
I would say.
It feels
Yeah, and so I'm excited. I'm also sad because it's ending, but at the same time, we're starting school again, so it'll be nice that RWBY has calmed down and we don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys want to support the channel, you guys should be patrons just like our wonderful patrons whose names will come on the screen now. $10 patrons get videos sometimes 2 weeks in advance, sometimes 3 weeks in advance, basically much earlier than anyone else. They can also request us to do a video for them, so this could be a reaction, a theory, a discussion, anything like that. Our $5 patrons get a week in advance early access or somewhere within that time frame, so between 2 days early and 7 days early basically, but usually it's 7 days early because I'm good with my scheduling. Anyway, our $1 patrons and all of our patrons above the $1 tier get access to our Discord server, so if you guys want to talk with us, talk with other fans of whatever you're watching right now, you guys can, and I hope that we will see you there. Bye.